Warning, get ready to be cringe. There's going to be a lot of Purdy puns in this video. Okay, so what a roller coaster of a season, right? The Niners curse continues. Week 2, we lose Trey Lance, and now we lost Jimmy G. It's tough, right? As soon as the ball gets rolling for the Niners, as soon as we start getting a little healthier, something happens, and this is huge, right? Jimmy G was him. That's him, right? That was Jimmy G. We're going to go to the playoffs, a good chance of making it to the big bowl, but now with him down, are our chances gone? Are they done? Can we rely on Brock Purdy, aka BCB, aka Brock the Rock, Mr. Relevant now? Can this be the guy for the Niners? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, what we saw last week was pretty darn cool, right? He went out there. He was confident. He had 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. But what a great way to come in, and I think that's the best thing about Brock, his characteristic of being bold, going out there, not afraid. You hear it in the locker room too. You had Trent Williams come out and say, "This guy is brave. He's not afraid." You have George Kittle come out and say the same thing. Gave him the nickname BCB. Go look it up because I'm not going to say it here. I don't want to get demonetized, but you should be excited. I and worried at the same time, right? You should be excited that we don't have a problem where we have we're reliant on getting Baker Mayfield, right? Okay, so we all know the story there. Baker Mayfield got waived from the team, so he was released. He went through waivers. The Rams got him. A lot of people think, including myself, that the Rams did it just to avoid the Niners getting him, but the Niners didn't put a waiver request for Baker Mayfield, which that says a lot. It says that they are confident in Brock Purdy, that it's time to ride with him this season, right? Next year, we'll see what happens with Trey Lance, with Jimmy G, and Brock Purdy. You can like all three guys, by the way, okay? I'm rooting for Brock Purdy. I'm going to be the biggest fan this year. Let's ride with him. Let's see what he has. And by him going out there and being brave and not afraid to do what he needs to do in order for this team to be successful, I think that's all we need, right? As I said in the preseason, we could put anyone back there in QB and they'll look good. Cal Shanahan has a great system. I don't care what anyone says. A lot of people say that his play calling is whack. He's evolving, right? He's growing. Even if you might not think so, the play calling is getting better. And with the weapons we have, we got CMC, Debo, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk, which everyone forgets to talk about. I hate listening to these commentators and not involving Brandon Ayuk. He's having his best season so far. And yeah, it is a contract season, so that is expected. But you could put anyone back there and they could find success and they could look good in this league. We just have to feed our guys. And that's all Brock Purdy has to do. And by him being confident behind center, I think that's just enough. You go back there, you don't even have to run the ball a lot, just a lot of checkdowns. You got so many options back there, and let your defense ride. Let them do what they do. They are the best in the league for a reason. You had Joe Montana come out and say, I think they can make it to the Super Bowl. They have the best defense in the league. Rely on your defense. That's all you need. Defense wins championships. This is Joe Montana saying that. And us faithful, we got to be relying on people like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Cal Shanahan, John Lynch. I don't think our chances are dead. All right. I'm just going to put it at that. Our chances are not dead. Playoff chances, I do believe 100% that we will still make it to the playoffs. I still believe 100% that we can beat teams like the Buccaneers, like the Seattle Seahawks, and stay first in our division. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be smooth sailing? No, we don't. We don't know how Brock Purdy is going to do moving forward, but I am glad that we are moving forward with Brock Purdy. I am glad that he was able to come in and do what he did against the Miami Dolphins of all teams that don't have a bad defense, right? So I'm pretty excited, pretty confident, a little down about Jimmy G going down and not having Trey Lance either. Not going to rely on that. And for those of y'all who don't know the update with Jimmy G, he has a chance to come back. He's going to be gone 6 to 8 weeks. And that is the NFC championship game. So his chances are coming back for the championship game. So the question is asked, if he is healthy, if the Niners do make it to the championship game, are we starting Jimmy G? Me personally, I say no. If we make it to the championship game with Brock Purdy, we got to ride with him, right? Keep on going. Don't break the sale. You can't just throw Jimmy G in there. Not saying that he's going to lose his job, right? I'm saying next year, if we keep all three quarterbacks, which I don't see happening, it's going to be uh, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, then Brock Purdy. Jimmy G is not losing his spot there, which Jimmy G could also possibly be the quarterback one for the Niners next year. We don't know, right? But I think we're in a very good situation with having Brock Purdy there, Mr. Irrelevant, coming from Iowa State. This guy had a hell of a season. He was phenomenal out there. And I'm glad we drafted him. I'm glad he stuck with us. And I'm just excited. If you guys cannot tell, I'm super excited. So I want to dive into this upcoming game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is going to be, I don't want to say the first time someone makes their starting debut against Tom Brady because that's happened plenty of times, but this could possibly be the first time someone wins with their first start in the NFL as a QB. And hopefully this will be the first. Mr. Irrelevant, it's time for him to start breaking records as he did last week. That was the first time a Mr. Irrelevant threw and completed a pass in the NFL in NFL history, which, not how many QBs get drafted the last pick of the draft, which is not very much. But you know what? It's a record that hasn't been set, and now it has been by Brock Purdy with the San Francisco 49ers. So you got to be happy about that. But let's dive into this game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think they're as tough as the Miami Dolphins. I don't think their defense is as good as the New Orleans Saints. We did see them playing against the Saints this past Monday. They struggled and they didn't have success until the last 5 minutes of the game. But this is what we got to worry about. Not just Brock Purdy playing the offense, but our defense. Yes, the number one defense, that's something we got to worry about. Tom Brady gets rid of the ball in under 2.5 seconds. And I feel like that's our weak point there. So, how much pressure can we get to Tom in order to be effective and to get into his head? Now, this guy's been playing the game longer than Brock Purdy's been alive. So, I don't know if we can get in his head, but we can cause havoc out there. The defense causing him to slow down his offense. They have been looking pretty good. Not at all. So we're able to stop Tyreek Hill. We're able to stop Jalen Waddle. And yes, some people can say, oh, Tua's having a horrible game. Why do you think Tua's having a horrible game? Because of our defense. They got to him, right? They got in his head. Even the pregame when both teams are talking trash, Raheem, he ate it, right? He didn't do much. Jeff Wilson didn't do anything at all. We won that game. And I was psyched out of my mind. That was great. That was a huge game for us. But this game is even more important, right? Because we're first in our division. Buccaneers are first in their division. This is a must-win game. And there's not a lot of important games left, right? You got the Seattle Seahawks and you got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I think those are the two most important games moving forward. And this is a game that we definitely win. Now, I want to talk about their defense, Tampa Bay's. Their defense is not very good against the pass. They're decent against the run, which they're only allowing, I believe, 2.7 yards per carry against running backs, which I don't think will be much of an issue. I think our O line's doing great so far. CMC is just red hot right now. Unfortunately, Elijah Mitchell is no longer with us, but we see CMC getting heavily involved in the passing game. Last week, he had 10 targets, 8 receptions, and a touchdown, which is freaking phenomenal. Hitting my bets, by the way. So if you guys do not know, I do place bets on every Niners game, which you could find in our Discord, which will be on our banner. But that's going to be phenomenal. They are averaging, what was it, 102.7 rating to running backs in the passing game and 108.5 ratings to tight ends in the passing game, which is huge because normally when it comes to a new QB, especially a rookie QB, a good tight end is their best friend. Now, I know George Kittle is from Iowa and Brock Purdy's from Iowa State, but George Kittle already gave him the name of BCB, right? So obviously they're going to become good friends. Hopefully we need that to happen. So can we see George Kittle get more involved? We possibly can. I think the ball's going to be spread out way more than it needs to, but CMC should have a heavy workload this upcoming week. I think we're going to steamroll over these guys. Now, it could be completely wrong, but I've been pretty accurate so far this season. And I think we are favorited. We are favored by like 3 points. The last time I checked, and I'm not making this video on Friday, just so y'all know. But we are favorited, and I do feel like we can't beat this. And I do feel like Brock Purdy will break some more records. So I'm excited about the game. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if you're excited about Brock Purdy starting. I'd much rather have Brock Purdy than Baker Mayfield. Just for the record. Okay. So let me know what you think. Did you want Baker Mayfield? Do you think the Niners are going to win? Do you think Brock Purdy will make a difference this season? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Thank you all so very much. And until next time, faithful, keep on grinding.